Hey everybody, it's Dustin here at shootlove.com. Thanks for joining us. Today we have Kayla Barker, a good friend of mine, who is a absolutely stunning photographer out of West Texas. She's also a professional graphic designer and has been so for a long time. Okay, first question up. Logos and branding. How important is a logo to a wedding photographer, a portrait photographer, just anybody in the photography game? How important is it for somebody to have a logo that's recognizable and that sets them apart? I mean, you tell me what your thoughts are on that as a designer and a photographer.
I've always been a big believer that, I have a graphic design degree, and so I think it's a huge thing to have an amazing branding that really sets the stage for what people are going to see, because as soon as they come to your website, they're going to get a feel. And so it's not just the logo, but like your whole feel of what you have on your website is really going to set the mood for like what type of photographer you are. So at one point, I had kind of like a little bit more of a glam kind of bling website, and that, so I was obviously attracting those types of brides. And then over time I was like, well, I think I want a more softer, casual, easygoing bride. So now my website's more clean, soft, and it kind of, appeals to that type of client. So if you want like fun, happy, if you do like children's photography, you're gonna want something that's like fun and happy. If you're edgy, then your logo should be a little more edgy, and just things like that, to where it just kind of is gonna be the first feel that people see, like, oh, this is, maybe gonna be a fun experience. It's gonna be a moody experience. Whatever type of photographer you are should really portray that.
Okay, so why is a logo important for a photographer? What should they be looking for, and how should they go about creating that logo?
I think it's really important to hire like a real professional that can create a logo, because if you go, I think there's a lot of photographers that jump around and they'll do their own logo and then they change it, and then a few months later they change it again. So I think it's important to spend the time like really researching what you want your brand to be, like create a board on Pinterest maybe, and then start looking at some designers that you like their work and find someone that really matches your style, as far as things that they've already done, maybe something that you like. So when I was looking for a new web designer, I did something, I was like, okay, I like his site here, 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 and here. So make sure it's something that really lines up with what you like as far as their design work. And then when I do my own designs, I really start by, okay, what are some words that describe me? Romantic, timeless, clean, write out some things like that. So when you hand over your stuff to a designer, they have a really good idea of what you're going for as far as your look. Like, these are my words that describe me, and they should do a good job about researching that too. Whenever I was doing logo designs for people, real consistently, I would send them a long questionnaire, like, who are your competitors? What are some other logos you like? What are your what's your style? And kind of things like that, so that they have a really good idea of what you're going for, and so they can really nail your design early, and you're not kind of like, maybe this, maybe that, so it doesn't get too wishy-washy, and confusing.
Gotcha. And I've recently read that you should design your logo, or you should have in mind that your logo, what it looks like, as small as 1 inch. So if it
Yes.
doesn't work at a 1 inch size,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, you don't want it. Have you heard that? Is that something that's a thing?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at a business card, it's only 3.5 inches long. So your logo on there needs to look really good at like 2 inches or something like that. Also, I always start off with logo designs in black, because color can be real confusing, and you can, like, I really don't like purple. So if someone threw my logo in purple, of course I'm not going to like it. So I always, start off with black or gray, and or print it out black and white and look from far away and say, okay, this thumbnail is really standing out to me. I'll go around to people and say, okay, help me, which of these are standing out to you and why. And then I'll narrow it down. So I might start with just some typography, looking at a lot of different text, and then comboing them together different ways. And then once I go from there, adding an icon or initial or something a little, something that's kind of adds on to your brand, but still looking at it in black and white. And then from there, then I'll move into like color and then adding color into your brand. And that can come a lot later. It needs to look good, black and white, small, and you need to be able to, when you hand your business card to someone, they get a glimpse really fast of, what you like, so, and what your brand is.
Okay. And how important is, from a photographer's branding standpoint, how important is it to have your logo look good as a watermark?
I think that's true. Depends on if you like to watermark your images or not. Like I did for a long time, and I liked having my logo as a watermark. But now I don't anymore because I think it's distracting from my images. But I think it could be, or it doesn't have to be. If you're going to add it small into the corner, on my albums, I put my logo real small. It needs to be readable. So anything that's too busy or too scripty, if you can't read it from far away or read it really small, I think it's hard for people to, read what it says, and you want it to be real distinct. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, hey, we want to thank you for your time today. You are awesome. We're going to put a little bit about you on underneath this blog post somewhere down here. You'll be able to read a little bit about Kayla, and also a link to her website. Go check out her work. You will not be disappointed. You will spend a lot of time being inspired and trying to figure out how she does what she does. The other cool thing is she'll be back. We're going to ask her a lot of questions about business. She's a good friend, so she's agreed to humor me and do this often. So we're going to talk to her about film photography, as she's recently she's gone rogue from digital, and she's mostly now shooting film. Some really cool stuff. You don't get the same look with digital. You just can't. So come back. You'll see a lot of stuff from Kayla. She's going to also be designing for Shoot Love. So you're going to want to buy all her stuff because, it's pretty and amazing. So anyways, thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned for some more cool Skype Shoot Love videos, and we'll see you guys very soon.